Imagine it is the year 1900. Look at these two photos. On the left is New York. On the right is Buenos Aires. Everyone bet their life savings that Argentina was the future. Economists predicted that these two nations would rule the 20th century together. They had the same fertile land, the same climate, the same massive potential to become superpowers. It was the Great Gatsby era of the South. The streets of Buenos Aires were paved with marble. The champagne never stopped flowing. It seemed like the party would last forever. But fast forward to today. Look at the calendar. Something terrible happened. The pages turned, but the destiny changed. One sister went on to lead the world, while the other collapsed. Today, the comparison is brutal. The U.S. is the center of the global economy. Argentina is a cautionary tale of poverty, endless debt, and broken dreams. So what went wrong? How do you bankrupt a country that has everything? I've been looking at the charts, and the crash is terrifying. It's a crime scene, and let's be clear, it wasn't bad luck, and it wasn't the weather. Stop blaming the climate for economics. The answer is much darker. It was a choice. It comes down to the rules of the game. There are only two rule books for running a country. One is written for everyone. The other is written for the elites. In Argentina, the elites decided they didn't want to bake a bigger pie for everyone. They just wanted to eat the whole pie themselves. And they had big appetites. They built a fence around the wealth. If you were on the inside, you were a god. If you were on the outside, you were nothing. The system was rigged from day one. Think of their economy as a giant extraction machine. Its only purpose was to squeeze the life out of the citizens and funnel that golden juice into one single pipe. And where did that pipe go? Straight to the top. The king drinks the milkshake, while the people get the empty cup. That is an extractive institution. The irony is, Argentina failed because it was too rich. The land was so perfect, money literally grew on trees, cows, wheat, grain. Easy money. This is the resource curse. When the elites can get rich just by selling raw meat, they get lazy. They don't need engineers. They don't need schools. They just need cheap labor. They didn't need fair laws either. They bought the judges. If the gavel is made of rotten wood, justice is just a performance. The courts protected the rich, not the innovators. If a smart kid wanted to start a business, the doors were slammed in his face. The banks were for friends only. Talent was seen as a threat to the monopoly. But up north, in the USA, things were different. The line at the patent office was out the door. People were hustling. The system was open to anyone with a crazy idea. Even a nobody like Thomas Edison could tinker in a garage and change the world. The system didn't care who your father was. It cared about what you could build. This created a boom. Factories opened, workers got paid, and they spent that money. The economy started spinning like a flywheel. It was messy. It was creative destruction. The car smashed the horse carriage industry to pieces, and that was good. You have to break the old to build the new. The U.S. realized that factories need smart workers, so they built schools. Sunlight poured into classrooms. They invested in brains, not just beef. Meanwhile, the Southern elites locked the libraries. They knew that an educated population is dangerous. It's harder to control people who understand how the money works. In America, the patent was your golden ticket. It was a promise. If you invent it, you own it. That simple piece of paper is why Silicon Valley exists today. And so, America climbed the staircase. Step by step, it left Argentina behind. Inclusive institutions beat extractive ones, every single time. But don't get too comfortable. Look at the sky. The storm clouds are gathering again. If you look at the U.S. economy today, the clock is ticking. Politicians have started to act like the old Argentine elites. They are throwing fake money at the crowd to keep them happy. But paper money burns fast. The money printer is overheating. It's on fire. We are printing trillions of dollars pretending that debt doesn't matter. But math always wins in the end. Go to the grocery store. Look at the prices. They are spinning like a slot machine. That is the ghost of Argentina haunting the aisles of Walmart. Inflation is a hammer that smashes your piggy bank. Your savings are being stolen while you sleep, and the middle class is left with nothing but dust. And look at the new bosses. The oil tycoons of the past have shaken hands with the tech giants of today. The product changed, but the monopoly remains. Try launching a startup now. The big tech giant doesn't compete with you. It steps on you. The ladder that Edison climbed? They are pulling it up. Walk into a supermarket. You see 50 brands of soda, but zoom out. They are all connected to the same tank. It is the illusion of choice. Our cities are being overshadowed by corporate skyscrapers that block the sun. These modern monopolies are becoming more powerful than the government itself. And why follow the rules when you can buy the referee? Lobbying is just a polite word for corruption. It's the handshake that sells out the future for a quick profit. The bridge between the rich and the poor is burning down. When the gap becomes too wide, the whole structure collapses into the ocean. Look at the map. Is the U.S. turning into Argentina? The colors are glitching. The symptoms are there. Debt, stagnation, a system rigged for the few. Even the Constitution feels like it's fading away. The rules that made us great are being erased by fine print and loopholes. People are angry. They are protesting because they know the game is rigged. But anger without a plan is just noise. The hourglass is running out. The dollar is losing its power. We are standing at the exact same tipping point that Argentina faced 100 years ago. But I am not here to just scare you. I am here to tell you that we have a choice. The news is bad, but the story isn't over. We can choose which gear to turn. We can leave the rust behind and grease the machine of innovation again. The next generation is standing at a fork in the road. One path leads to a cyberpunk ruin. The other leads to a new golden age. We still have the keys, education, and your voice. They are dusty, but they still open the doors. We just need to use them. We need to break down the walls of monopoly. We need to let the sunlight back in. An economy only survives when it works for everyone. Don't bet against human ingenuity. If we understand the trap, we can step over it. We can rewrite the rules. Mark Twain famously said, "History does not repeat itself, but it rhymes." Let's make sure we write a better verse this time. So, read the books. Understand the system. Question the narrative. Don't let them tell you it's too complicated. It's your money. It is time to wake up. The signals are flashing red. But as long as you are paying attention, you can win. Thanks for watching. If you want to survive the system and stay ahead of the curve, hit that subscribe button. I'm Mr. Market. Class dismissed.